Right. Books of magic have protection on them. So that if somebody decided to read one of these books without really having the power to do anything with that, or, basically having the clearance, then they wouldn't be able to remember the words. Kahlan tells Richard a story about when she was being born, when she was being taught when she was young, and the wizards would have her read a book, and she could either go a few words, maybe a paragraph or two, and then all of a sudden the info would just blank out of her mind, and she couldn't remember anymore. So a book like what Richard has memorized would not be able to be memorized by somebody without the gift.
Yeah. Aaron just...
That's our dog upstairs. Yeah, I apologize.
Sorry. Hi, Loki. Aaron just said, how do you convince somebody that you can't remember something? He's been trying to do that since middle school. He's convinced textbooks have magic.
Must be, because I didn't learn much then either.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. Anybody?
Hey, we're podcasting. And we're live.
Well, we apologize about that, but we're just going to have to... Wow, it sounds like they're fighting the dog now upstairs. What's going on? Okay, well...
Yeah, sorry.
Yep, is what it is.
So, finally, she gets Richard to admit the truth. He has the gift, and he's been sticking his head in the sand.
A what?
Kahlan finally gets Richard to admit he has magic.
Oh, no, I meant the sticking his head in the sand. You mean... Oh, like an ostrich. He's trying to not see it. To try not... Okay. I got you. No, we're back.
Yeah.
Sorry, the dog thing, and then when you said that, I was like, they're not at the beach. They're in a field shooting arrows.
Richard should be at the beach.
Did you even read the chapter, Jade? Book club foul.
Ah, sorry.
I'm sorry, but I have to kick you off the podcast now. I'm bluffing. I can't do that.
No.
So, that little minor distraction did remind me that, well, we're about a half hour in or so. I think it's time for a beer break.
Yeah, we could do a beer break.
So tonight, again, and I apologize for again, but we have this Nut of Your Business peanut butter stout. We didn't finish them on the last episode, so kind of sorry, not sorry. This is really good beer. And me and Jade were vibing, and it's my Father's Day beer, so that is what we are drinking tonight. You already know how I feel about it, and how Jade feels about it.
Yep.
But so if you guys have something cold and refreshing with you tonight, let us know what that is.
Also, I want to say I'm on a Facebook page for like Michigan craft beer enthusiasts. Somebody on there made a it's not a root beer, but it's a beer float with this.
Oh yeah. Hell yeah, they did. Oh my gosh.
They put ice cream in it.
These are our last two, aren't they?
Yeah.
Oh.
Guess we gotta go to the store.
Yeah, I mean... All right, let's hurry this up, guys. I got a beer float to try. Kidding. Have we trained the dogs to bring us beers yet? No, I mean, I tried, but he just buries them in the backyard.
He likes to chew plastic bottles.
Yeah, oh yeah. He loves chewing on pop bottles. He'll take the caps off. It's the weirdest thing. He doesn't really even want to chew on the bottle. You just toss it to him. He rips the cap off and is like, "Did I do good, Dad?" Madison Arnold says she's just having water because she's pregnant. Well, congratulations, Madison.
Congrats.
Woo!
Aaron says that Loki may have been protecting us from a squirrel.
Yeah, we could have been killed. Oh, yeah, he's like, you should be grateful. I brought you that dead squirrel. That was a gift. That was a gift, okay? Oh, beer's good. Dogs are good. All good things.
All good things.
Hey, books are good.
I like books.
He says, Aaron says, can you do red wine, or is that an old wives' tale that you can drink wine while pregnant? Oh, no. No, I think you can. I think you, like, maybe one glass.
Yeah.
Or like whatever a wine pour is. Because I know typically you don't get like an 8-ounce pour of wine or a 16-ounce pour of wine. You get like 4 something?
Yeah. You can technically want a glass of wine a day or whatever, but you got to be careful because it's a baby.
Yeah, and also we are not doctors, so
Yeah.
by no means are we like, yeah, no, it's probably fine.
Yeah.
Because I mean, I'll speak for myself. I'm an idiot. I wouldn't trust me with medical advice either.
No.
Jade knows. Trust Jade, guys. Don't trust me. Yeah, yes. We are.
Okay. Well, it's time to get back into the chapter. I hope you enjoyed your break.
Now we're back.
Ching!
Yeah, sword sound.
So, I have a really hard time with the words with R and then W. I have a hard time with that. Every time we record, I do W's all the way through. So, I apologize if I struggled to get this out. Richard wishes, yes, she could have mesh. Dang it.
Close.
Richard wishes she could have met his dad.
Nailed it.
Yes. Then asks about hers, and she's not thrilled to be having this conversation. She goes into like blank face mode again and explains that he was just her mother's mate. Nothing left of him except his devotion to her mother. There was no like personality there anymore.
Mate like a confessor's mate.
Yeah.
They did not love each other like Richard and Kahlan. This guy was literally just the guy her mom picked because I got to pick somebody.
Yeah. He didn't give a shit about Kahlan. Only that she was an extension of her mother. Like, only because her mother told him to care about Kahlan. Not even really to care, but to, like, tend to her. That's the only reason that he even acknowledged her.
Right.
Which probably wasn't great.
No, I mean, you need some sort of closeness with your parents. And if it's not there and you know that, like, this is a marriage from a long time ago, right? I know I compare these books to, like, medieval times, but I don't really know where in the scale they lay. But, like, marriage was so your family could survive. It really did not matter if you loved the person. If you guys had one thing that they need, they have something that you need. You got married, so both of your families have both of these things. That was it. And in a confessor's case, she just needs to make a baby to make another confessor.
Yeah.
Now, it's kind of... it's a little weird because how... Kahlan's brother and sister, right? They're in charge of that place now. Galia.
Yeah. I agree.
I'm going to go Galia. What do you guys think about that? And he's like, oh, so you're royalty? And Kahlan goes, no. I'm a confessor. I'm not part of their family. I'm this other thing over here.
Yeah.
You know, their dad was married to another woman, and, like, that was mom and dad to them. And then apparently my mom took this guy away, and it's not still mom and dad. Dad's, like, gone even though he's there, and that's definitely not their mom.
Yeah. And I mean, she's explained to him a couple times by now, like, she's more than a queen. Like, she's above the queens and the kings. So even if she's the daughter of a king, she's still above that. She's more than royalty.
Yeah, in the last book, she literally laughed at him and then said, "No, queens bow down to me."
Yeah.
That does not make you a princess, bro.
Duh.
We are. Yes. See, it's okay. So Al says Galia. Is that how you're saying that? Like a hard G?
I think he's saying Gallia, like you were.
Galia. Oh, okay. Because the other way was like
Samantha Ryan saying that too.
Galia. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. I wasn't sure because I was like, there's Galia too, but I think it's more the pronunciation.
Yeah.
The sound in the A. Galia.
So her dad's wife was Queen Bernie, and they did have a business marriage, like you were saying. Her mother only took King Wyborn because he found his wife fucking another man and beat the shit out of her, basically.
Yeah, it says he was a cuckold.
Yeah.
And to be brutally honest, I had a interpretation of that word already, but I was like, you know what? Why don't I get online and look up what the actual no shit like meaning of it is? And it's literally a dude whose wife is cheating on him.
Yeah.
You're there, you're married, but you're not the one, and that's what makes you a cuckold. I know there's a shorter version of that word, but I don't know if it's offensive, so I guess I'm just not going to say it. But
I guess I didn't consider that it would be.
I've heard a lot of people call a lot of people the short. It's just it's cuck. So I don't know if that makes it worse or not. It felt weird when they said it because it was on a podcast. Everybody on the podcast was like, and then topic change, and it was like it was never really discussed. So I don't know, but that was just my experience. The only other experience with that word that I've had, so I had to be sure, Googled it, and that's what it is.
Yeah, I Googled it too, but I hadn't had that experience with it.
Aaron says, "Boy, I'm glad you looked that up." Yeah, me too, actually. Me too.
So... So the king was a warrior. He was a really badass leader in war, and he was commanded to tell Kahlan everything that he knew about war. The most important thing that she learned was ruthlessness.
Yeah, it was like, normal dads teach their daughters. I mean, I don't have a daughter, but I would imagine, politeness, your manners, right? Obviously, the rules of the home, much like Chase and Rachel. Like, hey, these are the things you have to live by. But then also, it's like you teach them how to be a good person. And my parents specifically were like, no, violence is a bad thing. That's just not the way you want to be. And this guy is like, okay, let me teach you the most effective way to kill a dude. I mean, it's just a little wild, but then again, back then that's exactly what you had to do. There was nobody looking out for you. You had to look out for yourself. And ultimately, I look at this as a father teaching his daughter how to protect herself in a world that won't do it for her. And I mean, it would still be an estranged kind of relationship, but that's not a bad thing to be teaching your daughter either. So basically, like she was saying, he was commanded to spend time with Kahlan because he really didn't care. And he would teach her these things and look up at her. Am I doing it right? And she'd be like, yeah, yep, you're teaching her fine. And then that would be his satisfaction, that her mom was actually happy, not that Kahlan learned anything.
Right.
So it's a good thing to teach, but for the wrong reason.
Yeah. And So Richard, at this point,